Hi everyone, and welcome to this new Airscale use case video where we are going to learn how to go from a simple list of companies, which we will have chosen based on some intent signals, to a highly targeted list of decision makers and C-level executives with a personalized outreach message generated by AI. In order to do this, we are going to use two modules. The first one will be Find Companies, and the second one, the Leads Finder module. So let me click on that first module. So for the sake of this video, let's imagine that I am a salesperson working at an IT consulting firm, and I'm looking for some SaaS companies in the United States, hiring some salespeople. If they are, that means that they're scaling, they're ready to grow. So let me just write down all the filters. Software development, company size, I'm gonna write down from 1 to 500 employees, United States. And then the company recent events section is really good if you're looking for some precise intent signals. I'm going to just write down hiring in sales departments and put down 60 days. Okay, now I can just preview the search results and then load all of those companies to the table. While it's loading, I can already access the results. So now, as you can see, we have a table full of companies with some columns there by default. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use AI in order to see if these companies are a good ICP fit or not. So I'm just going to click on Use AI, select the rows I'd like to enrich, grant web access, so air search will be the LLM by default, create a new column, and then write down my prompt. You can either write one down if you have it, or you can also import a template. I have some saved, so I'm just going to import it. It's IT consulting firm looking for SaaS. In order to guarantee some good results, you give a bit of context to AI. So in this case, I wrote down the stance that AI has to take. Be as specific as possible in the actions that you want it to do. So here I ask AI to analyze some specific signals. And then at the end, I specify which output I need. This is important if you need to have control over the format that you want the AI response to be in. And before I run the workflow, I just have to make sure that the template I've just imported has the inputs connected to the columns in my table. So for that, I just need to write them down again. So company domain, and then the last one, company LinkedIn URL. There you go. And then you can just run the workflow. As AI has completed its search, you can just click to expand in order to have more details about the reasoning. As you can see, the outreach column is getting some yeses and some nos. And now all we have to do is filter out the nos. Write down the column, select a filter type, is equal to, and then just write down, apply filter. Now that all my nos are right here, I can just select the rows and delete them. You can also move them to another table if you want. You can just click on export right here and then export to another table. Now that we have this full table of companies, we are going to try to find some C-level executives in them by using a new module called Leads Finder. So all we have to do is click on Home, Find People, and Leads Finder. So I can just select the table I created, select a company identifier. I'm just going to write down company domain, add all the companies. And here I can just write down the job titles I would like to include in my search. Now that I've added all of my filters, I can just preview search results. And then as per usual, load all of those people to a table. Now I have some columns here by default. First name, last name, job title, company location, LinkedIn profile URL, which is what we're going to use later to enrich those profiles, headline, about, company description, etc. So the two enrichments that I'm going to make right now regard their LinkedIn profile, because that's what we're going to use in order to create a personalized outreach. So I'm going to start with get person profile data, select the rows, and then I can just run that workflow. In the meantime, I can start my second enrichment, which is people post scraper. And this will probably allow me to have an even more personalized outreach message. Maybe it can include some details about a recent post that person made. So LinkedIn profile URL, and then run that workflow as well. So there's profile data. If I click to expand, I have more details about the profile, and I can add any category as a column to my table. And then the LinkedIn post, if I click to expand, I have some other information. So for example, if there's a brand partnership or not, the post URL, if it's been reposted, etc. So if I click on Use AI, I can now create the personalized message. I just need to select the rows. I don't need to grant web access here because the information will have already been found in the two enrichments that I have made prior. So let me just choose which LLM I want. I'm going to use GPT-5 Mini. and then import a new template for my prompts. So as I said before, make sure the inputs are connected to your table. Now I can just run the workflow. So now we have a new column at the end of our table with a personalized outreach message for every one of those decision makers that we have just identified. Now, all you have to do is enrich, find some phone numbers or some emails, and then get in touch with those executives. You can also use some outreach tools if you want. All you have to do is click on export and then choose your CRM. For example, if I had to click on Lemlist, then you select the rows, map Lemlist properties with Airscale data. For example, at the end, in the icebreaker, you could put the AI outreach message. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. As per usual, if you need any more information or you have any questions about Airscale, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to help.